Guys, and welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be a trying and testing out of Minimalist products. Now I have done a video like this a couple of months ago when Minimalist was a rather new brand, not like new but like relatively new. Now I feel like Minimalist has been there in the market for a while and people have like tried and tested their products. They themselves have also expanded their range so much. They've come up with so many new products and serums, and I still have so many more that I do want to try out. But yes, in my previous video I spoke about their 10% niacinamide, 2% salicylic acid and hyaluronic acid serum as well. If you haven't checked out that video and you want to know a review of any of these products, I'm going to leave a link down below in the description box. You can go ahead and check it out and go ahead and watch that review. But in today's video I'm going to talk about 4 other products, and yes, I will have timestamps as usual for everything. So in case you're only interested in a review on one product and you don't really care about the others, you can just jump ahead to that particular timestamp and watch that particular review. But yeah, in today's video I'm going to talk about 3 more serums. I have the 5% niacinamide plus 1% hyaluronic acid. I have their 25% AHA, 5% PHA and 2% BHA exfoliating facial. And then I also have the vitamin C 10%, and I think this is called arginine, which is 1% in their vitamin C serum. And then I also have one product which is not a serum. This one is a moisturizer, and it's the 3% Sebicalm plus oat moisturizer. So these are the 4 products I'm going to talk about today. So let me start with something that I've been using a lot recently, and that is their 10% vitamin C. This is also one that isn't basically probably in my pores right now because I used it today when I was doing my morning skincare routine. And yeah, I have not used a lot of product. I've used around like this much. So yeah, I feel like I still have a very good idea as to how the product feels, what results I'm going to probably get out of this. So let's talk about that. First of all, the consistency of this I would say is more like a watery gel, but it's got the tiniest bit of oiliness as well. Like it's a very tiny bit of oiliness to it. I don't want this to scare anyone out there who might have more like oily combination skin, because I do feel like if you use the right amount of, you don't go overboard, it's not gonna make your face oily whatsoever. Just make sure you don't overuse it and don't use a lot of product. Use maybe like 3 to 4 drops, I want to say, to cover your whole face, and I think you will be perfectly fine. Just make sure you don't overuse it. That is when it comes to the usage directions that I would recommend. When it comes to the results, personally what I have noticed is that this doesn't give you that instant brightening, really glowy appearance, but it's something that gives you more of a subtle glow. And what I've also been noticing is that it is helping with really light, like if I just had a breakout like last week and now it's like gone away, like the pimple has gone away and a light mark that it leaves behind, like that is still there. I feel like this helps to like fade that. So with your recent breakouts, I feel like if you use this to like get rid of the hyperpigmentation and the spots that are left behind that, then I do think that this will help. If like me, I have had certain acne marks and spots on my face for years and years because I've been breaking out since I was 13, which is like 8 years ago. So I have a lot of very stubborn hyperpigmentation that just does not go. So I feel like I'm not seeing a lot of great results on those, but more recent like marks that I got very recently, maybe like a month ago or so, I feel like this has really been helping with that, which I know is I'm gonna like, I've already filmed the video, but you're gonna see it later on, I think the week after you watch this video, where I speak about how vitamin C serums I personally feel don't help a lot with hyperpigmentation, and I feel like me giving this review to this particular product is kind of contradicting that. So again, I want to use up the whole bottle, and I will make sure to do a before and after like review post on Instagram for this particular product, and I will share you the before and after. So before I open the bottle, what my skin looked like, and after I use up the whole bottle, what my skin looks like. I will show you that on Instagram. So let me use up the whole bottle and I'll give you a much more in-depth review, but this is more of like my initial thoughts. So yeah, that was that. Moving on next to something I've been using for weeks and weeks, and again I use this once mostly in a week, sometimes twice in a week, because I do feel like my like my skin personally can use this twice in a week if I want to, because again my skin is more tough, rigid, it's not that sensitive and it doesn't get sensitized easily. But yeah, this is the 25% AHA, 5% BHA, 5% PHA and 2% BHA serum. This is also compared to the ordinary 30% AHA serum, which is like that blood facial kind of like that kind of product. Again, this is something that I personally feel is, if you are like a beginner to chemical exfoliation, then I would not recommend that you start with this. But if you are someone who has been chemically exfoliating for a couple of months to like a year or so, I feel like this is more of like, as compared to other products that are similar to this, I feel like this is rather gentle, because I've used the Dot & Key 10% AHA and 2% BHA as well, and I feel like that is more intense than this, which I know is saying a lot because this is 25% AHA. But I feel like when I'm using this, like the first couple of times when I used it, I was just like, my skin is not even tingling, which was very surprising to me because I thought that it would really tingle like even more than the 10% AHA does. But this one doesn't tingle that much on my skin, which is why I was like, is this even working? So then I posted about it on my Instagram, and a couple of you actually DM'd me and told me that, you know what, we've used this as well, and you know, we had a similar result as well. It's just a more gentle product. Just because it's 25% AHA, you think that it's going to be really intense, but it's not that intense, which is actually a good thing. Technically, products don't have to there's a saying, like people think that when a product is really tingling on the skin, it's working, so it's like a good thing. Yeah, it's probably a good thing, but it doesn't mean that only because it's tingling. Like if a product doesn't tingle, doesn't mean that it's bad. That's what I'm trying to say, because yeah, that's a common misconception that is possible. Like it's possible for people to have that misconception. But yeah, I have seen really good benefits and results with this. Also, if you're someone who doesn't want to regularly chemically exfoliate, I personally like doing that. But if you don't want to, I think that this is something you can incorporate once a week to give yourself that chemically exfoliated, like the glow and the even skin tone, and like, you know, all of that, all of those great things. So yeah, personally I really think that this is a great, rather more gentle product. I would say that you should check out if you think that you are the right person for something like this, and if you really want to do something like this, then I do think this is a great one. So yeah, that was that. Moving on to a product that unfortunately did not work for me, and I'm really sad that it did not work for me. I also mentioned this in my products I regret buying video, which I did film before this, but I think you're going to see it after this. So yeah, that's pre-filming me who's trying to figure out which video is going when. But anyways, let's talk about the product. That is the Minimalist Moisturizer. Now you guys, I wanted this to work for me so much, you have no idea. I feel like it's so difficult to find an affordable fragrance-free moisturizer. Like the only ones that I know of which are not affordable are the Otherdam ones. They are affordable when you buy them on sale, whereas they're not really affordable. And then the affordable moisturizers are not fragrance-free. So that's the reason why I've never found an affordable fragrance-free moisturizer till date. And when I bought this, I wanted it to work so bad for me because it's affordable. It is $3.99, I want to say, and it's also fragrance-free. So I was like, please, 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 please let this work for me. But it did not work for me, you guys. It did not work for me. So I cannot use this in the daytime because it's a little bit more like a creamier consistency. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna swatch just a little bit, okay, for you. So you can see it's more of a creamy consistency. And yes, these are my hands, which by the way I did not put body lotion today morning, so yeah, they're dry. So now when I'm applying this, it's like getting absorbed into my skin very, very quickly. But you can tell it's more of a creamy moisturizer, it's not a gel. So yeah, it's not great for daytime. For night time, I feel like when I apply this on my skin, it doesn't blend super easily on top of like toner or essence or serum or whatever I put on before this. On top of that, it doesn't blend really well if this is the only product you're using on your skin. Like if you're someone who doesn't care about toner, serums and all of that, you have like perfect skin, you just wash your face, you put this on and then you go to bed. If that's the kind of person you are, it'll probably blend in much better. But if there is product on before, I don't think that it blends well at all. So when I use it without a toner or a serum and stuff like that, what I've noticed when I wake up the next morning is that my pores are all clogged around my nose, and I have broken out a couple of times over this, like after using this as well, and I always wanted to make sure that it's this and not something else. So I've used it maybe like 3-4 times, not like 3-4 days, but like 3-4 different times I've used it for like a few days, and I've always noticed the same thing. And I try to like keep giving it chances to be like, is it this for sure, is it something else, maybe it's something else. No, it was this, because I had my doubts, like maybe I'm just PMSing and it's the time of the month so I'm breaking out. No, I've tried it multiple times, it's always this. And I have seen a couple of other people who have mentioned the same thing, that yes, it clogs their pores, and yes, it breaks them out. So I'm just like, yes, I'm not the only one. There are a couple people who like it, then there are other people who don't like it. I belong to the latter. And yeah, I think it's just a personal thing where every single skin is different and everyone's skin is different. So again, what works for me is not going to work for you, and vice versa. So we just got to deal with that, which is why I decided to declutter this and give it to my mom. She has dry skin, hopefully she will like it. And yeah, that was that. Moving on next to the last product, which is the 5% niacinamide and 1% hyaluronic acid serum. Now again, like I mentioned earlier, I have tried out the 10% niacinamide, and a lot of people have asked me what's the difference between the 5% niacinamide and the 10% niacinamide. So I'm going to try to be as precise as possible and give you like a brief of which one would be suitable for whom. Now personally, I feel like the 10% niacinamide plus zinc is the one which is better for me, because I am someone who's had oily skin all my life. My pores produce a ton of oil, and that also causes breakouts for me a lot of times, which is why I feel like the 10% niacinamide plus zinc combo and that product in general is a lot better. That being said, it's not like this one is not good. I feel like this one also does the same thing, where it helps in controlling my sebum production and like regulating that. So I would still say that my skin is more on the normal side. Of course, right now I am sweating like a greasy pig, and yeah, that's not the oils, that's actually the sweat, because yeah, the fan is off, whatever. Anyways, let's continue. So what I would personally say, the 5% niacinamide serum would be suitable for you if you are someone so let me put this way. A lot of people like when they first use niacinamide, the 10% niacinamide is more popular in the Indian market, I would say. Most serums have 10% niacinamide, and for some people 10% niacinamide is a little bit too much, which is why there is write off niacinamide as an ingredient. So if you are someone like that, I would recommend checking out products with 2%, 3% or 5% niacinamide, because they may be a little bit more gentle for you and maybe more suitable for your skin type. So if you are someone who 10% niacinamide is too much for, I would say go for the 5%. Also, more when it comes to actives is not always better. So if you are if you've never used an niacinamide ever and you're planning on like picking up either the 5% or the 10%, again I would say go for the 5% first, see if that works for you, and then go for the 10%. Also, if you have really oily skin, you would really like both, but if you have more normal combo skin, 10% can be a little bit too intense for you, so maybe start with the 5% again. So yeah, it's just about these different scenarios that you have to keep in mind, and that way you can figure out which one you like more. I think that this is very similar to the 10% in terms of the formula. When I say formula, I mean like the texture and stuff more. So yeah, if that's what you're concerned with, I feel like both of them are very similar, but I feel like the effectiveness and how they work on different skin types is very, very different. So keep those things in mind, and accordingly you can make your pick. I like this as well, and I will be using up the whole thing. This is the only niacinamide that I currently have in my collection. So yeah, I really enjoy using this one, and whenever I feel like my skin is getting really oily, I make sure to incorporate this in my skincare routine, and it again really helps with the sebum production. But yeah, that's it for the video. I really hope that you found these reviews helpful. I will be trying out hopefully the alpha arbutin and the tranexamic acid serum soon. And what else do I have on my wish list from Minimalist? Yeah, I think those are the products. I can't really think of much more, but yeah, hopefully I will do a part 3 of this video very very soon. So let me know in the description box down below, no, not in the description box, in the comment section, what you would like me to try from the Minimalist. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Until next time, bye.